I want to show you this clip and see what you think, okay? So I thought about pole vaulting when I was younger, but just realized that probably wasn't
You were
my
good
sport.
at high jump, you
I was
said.
really good at high jump,
like
but
set a record.
this is why pole vaulting for some of us is a challenge. And so I just want to see what your thoughts are here.
Okay.
Gonna make the world a better place. Gonna make the world a better place. Gonna make the world a better place. Gonna make it home.
Hey guys, welcome back to Footprints to Blueprints. I'm Dr. Jeremy Cross.
And I'm Dr. Allie Cross.
So Doc, man, the Olympics are on. 2024 Paris Olympics.
Yes.
I just want to see your reaction to something that took place in the Olympics because I can relate to this person.
Oh.
So.
Okay. There's been some pretty great things. Simone Biles, I'm pretty proud of her. She's retiring and pregnant, which is awesome.
I know. Let's wait. But before we go into her, I want to show you this clip and see what you think, okay? So I thought about pole vaulting when I was younger, but just realized that probably wasn't my sport.
You were good at high jump, you said.
I was really good at high jump,
like
but
set a record.
This is why pole vaulting for some of us is a challenge. And so I just want to see what your thoughts are here.
Okay.
So this is Anthony Ammirati.
Oh! Wait a minute. What knocked that pole down?
What knocked the pole down? Sometimes it doesn't, bigger isn't necessarily better. Did you see that? Oh, my heart goes out to him. No cup on. I think the thing is
What country is he from?
It's the bounce back. It's the bounce back.
Wow, that's impressive.
I believe he's French.
We need to go to France.
We need to keep you away from France. You're okay. Married, 2 kids. But the thing for me is, listen, I mean.
That sucks for him.
It really sucks. I think he got 15th place or something, but.
15th place.
I think he should have got a medal just because.
Well, he's winning in other ways, though. So he's good, I'm sure.
He's definitely going to get other sponsorships. He's definitely going to get other sponsorships. So I think that's a positive thing for him. But it's got to be very defeating when, unfortunately, a body part
Is that one really defeating, though? I mean, it sucks, but...
Listen, it sucks in that moment, but I'm telling you, people are sliding through that gentleman's DM.
He's getting gold medals everywhere else.
He's winning, right?
He just probably is more famous now than he was before this.
He'll never live that down.
Heck no.
But
as a guy, do you want to live that down? I don't know. I mean, that's a good one.
If you're a single male, I don't understand why you would. I mean, the dating game for him is going to be pretty interesting.
Astronomical.
All right, but you mentioned Simone Biles.
Oh yeah,
also who crushed it.
Yeah, I mean, gymnastics and all of these sports. I mean, these are challenging sports.
Yeah,
and from a mental health and just the way that some of these training systems have historically been, as far as just the discrepancies and discrimination and all of that. So I was really happy to see.
Body dysmorphia.
Yeah, but I was really happy to see that she did so well. And when I found out she was pregnant, I was like, that's a lot of work. I wonder, hopefully she feels okay.
I think for me, the biggest thing is it shows you how much women are superheroes.
Yep.
I mean, as a male, I can only speak for myself. I get a paper cut and I'm down. I get a sniffle.
At least you're admitting that.
I am. I'm admitting that, right? I mean, that's a big challenge, right? And then I see someone like, Simone Biles go out there and win
gold medals,
multiple gold medals, and then at the end of it, she's got her, goat chain on, and she's like, I'm retiring and I'm pregnant. And for me, what I love about what she did for this entire campaign is that she put her mental health first, and she made everyone aware of the fact that, hey, that was something that I was struggling with.
Yeah.
And she didn't use it as a crutch, right? She was open and honest about it. And so my hope is that other people will learn from that and realize it's okay to be vulnerable in that matter and say, listen, I have to focus on my mental health as well as my career, as my discipline, as my craft, because if I'm not right here, then I can't become or be the best, right? Gymnastics, person, doctor, lawyer, whatever the profession is that you choose. Like, how can you be your best if you're not mentally engaged?
Well, I mean, that's hard because as women, we have so much on our plate, and then there's just a lot of expectations, right? And men have them too. And it just makes it challenging because when we're trying to be the best and all of our little areas, we get broken down by family, by friends, by other people, society. I mean, and you're just like, I'm just trying to do the best I can. And when you start to get broken down, it just takes away from what you're really trying to do. And that sucks. And it's hard. Saw this, I don't know if you've seen it, but the new Nike commercial about the Just Do It, but it talks about all of the women,
I think they
athletes.
need to make that, they need to, first of all, I haven't seen that completely,
but
they
it
need to
talks
make
about
a new
how
Just Do
we're
It commercial.
crazy.
But they need to make a Just Do It commercial with the pole vaulter now. Like, imagine that commercial. Say no words. Have him pole vault hit.
I'm trying to say how this new commercial is like awesome. It's an awesome way to talk about how women are quote unquote crazy, right? But we're crazy athletes is what the commercial was. And you bring it back to the pole vaulter.
I mean, all I'm saying is, just do it. But I haven't seen that commercial actually.
It's really neat. They just represented women athletes so well, and the Williams sisters, tennis.
Yep.
Were on there, and they're just freaking amazing. And we get such a bad rap as far as quote unquote crazy. The labels that we get are not the same labels as they are for men, and it's really sickening. And as having two daughters who are going to be going into the sports, and Adri is already a big soccer player, and she's really good. And I hate the labels. I hate the labels that happen to everybody because
everyone has some label, right?
Yes.
That's not needed.
No. Why can't we just be? Which we talk about a lot, but
because you have to put people in boxes in order to be able to categorize them. And so I think it's just human nature to be like, I'm going to put you in this box, right? Like, you're just a podiatrist. Why would I want to listen to you on a podcast, right? I don't really care about your perspective. I'm like, that's a box that you're putting me in. I don't want to be in a box because you feel that I am only limited to doing foot stuff. Like, no, I'm actually someone who loves to do art and who loves to skateboard and loves to surf. But you don't know that because I've been placed in this box of just being in this one thing. And so I think 2024 is going to be the year of woman empowerment. Mm-hmm. I think you have Kamala Harris, who is now obviously Kamala running for president. And so I think you're going to see a lot more.
Well, it will definitely be interesting to see what happens. I mean, I hate politics, and I hate even more so election years because it just makes everyone so cranky, and so it'll be interesting to see. But I was going to say something, but I forgot. Shoot.
For me, it boils down to, I agree. Politics is something that completely destroys most families. It's obviously one of those things where they're like, never bring it up at the dinner table, and because it does cause issues.
But do you think, so when did that start? Like, when do you think that phrase, don't talk about it at the dinner table, when do you think that came about? I mean, it was clearly when my parents were young, they don't talk about it, but why not talk about it? Why not talk about your different perspectives? Because that's how we get through these things. That's how we see each other's opinions and where we come from and share those experiences. And I feel like by not talking about it, it makes it so one-sided or the other, and no one can hear each other's perspectives unless it's like because there's a huge headliner about something. Or I just feel like it purposefully limits the conversation.
Yeah, but I think media has a large part to do with that. And so when you have these two adversarial sides, right? People get so riled up because what's being portrayed, and you're playing on those emotions that they're unable to sit down and share in dialogue and say, hey, no, like, I can see your perspective on this or that. Like, it's just people are so emotionally attached to politics.
But by not talking about it so let's say, my parents are almost 80, right? So by them not talking about it means that we are not exposed to how to communicate about it, right? Because then we have to learn on our own, and not saying that, you know, people's perspectives and how they communicate about this stuff is different for everybody. But I just feel like we are so much more open about talking about these things in front of our children and making it more of common conversation versus like, oh no, don't bring it up. And I feel like you have to bridge those gaps. I feel like it's kind of like being colorblind, right? I mean, we were raised in a time frame where when we went to school, no one talked about color. And for me, as a previous educator, it's important to discuss where people are coming from and to acknowledge the differences, not in a bad way, but you have to talk about it because you didn't come from the same place as I did. And for you to assume or us to just ignore that you are a Black American and just, you don't experience what it feels like to be a white American in public when we walk outside these doors, like even in clinic.
Yeah.
As a physician, you don't experience it the same way. So why are we quote unquote colorblind when that's not reality, but people aren't used to talking about it because it makes them uncomfortable. They choose to not talk about it. And I just am saying, let's be more open, learn, teach these younger generations how to communicate with it, about it in a positive way, in a constructive way, and not in a violent way.
Yeah.
You know, like don't let the emotions get to the point where you can't communicate. That's a problem.
Yeah.
If you can't communicate about a topic, like a political topic, without getting so heated you have to walk out of the room, I mean, we got to reevaluate those communication techniques.
I think for me, what I think is important, especially as we raise our daughters, is I don't want my daughters to be judged. Prime example, like she's being judged right now that she's running for president, right? Because she's not quote unquote a real mom because she doesn't have her own children. Right?
She didn't birth children.
Yeah. And so for me, I'm like, what does that have to do with politics? Right. And so that's where for me, as a married man, married to a woman, I step back and I go, wow, is that same conversation being had about a man who's never had?
Of course not.
Children.
No.
Right. And so that's for me where, you know, I have a problem like, man, you know, you can have your debates on, you know, her stance on certain political issues, but her being a mommy and those low digs for me are where I just turn off the TV because I don't even want to deal with that.
For
That's
one,
crazy.
the person who is making comments doesn't know why, doesn't know if it was a choice, a
physiologically
concern.
Can't have children?
But what does that have to do with anything?
Yeah.
And that's the problem is like the digs. This is why I hate election years is because the digs about the person, sometimes it is like, I mean, it'd be based off of previous actions that they've done in public light. I mean, then that would make sense. But like going back into her private life and pulling out these things that make it seem like what, she's a weak person because she didn't birth a child? Like, okay, so what are men?
Yeah.
Like, what is the point of bringing it up that she did not go through the birthing process that we know of?
Right.
People assume she's never experienced that. You don't know.
Yeah, you have
That's
no
none of our
idea.
business. This
Right.
woman is a human being who is allowed to have a private life.
Yeah.
You know? And so I just think it's like, it's so unnecessary to even talk about it because it makes no difference at all, whether or not she has that history.
I think she's in a very difficult situation. And for me, more than anything, I'm just proud that I can tell my daughters that you can position yourself to be in a point where you can run for president. And for me, it's more about women empowerment. Whatever side you to choose, you know, you decide to vote for, that's, you know, your right and your choice. But I think for me, having daughters, it's important for them to see people that look like them, that it's possible.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing,
Right.
and that's my takeaway in that regard. So, yeah, there's a lot of big things moving in the world. And, okay, here's my thing back to the Olympics. If you could choose to be in the Olympics for a sport, what would that sport be?
Well, are we talking about summer or winter?
I'm talking about Summer Olympics. Yeah, it could be any Olympics.
I would play
but summer.
soccer because I'm a soccer player.
Yeah.
But I mean, are you talking about an individual sport or team sport? If it's a team sport, of course I would do soccer.
What about an individual sport?
I don't know. Did you hear about the guy? I don't know what country he's from. The one who came. It was a shooting. Stop it.
I'm sorry.
He went to the Olympics. He was doing a gun competition. I don't know what it was called. He was sitting there with his rifle, shot the gun with his hand in his pocket, and he got a silver medal.
Really?
Like, no glasses, no headphones, ear protection, nothing. This guy just rolled up, like pulled up.
That's life. Bow.
Yes.
Silver.
They think that they sent what I was seeing is that they're like this. They sent a sniper.
I mean, probably.
But why not? Couldn't it have been a sniper?
That's a sport.
Is there legal? I mean, I don't know what the prereqs are to be able to become.
Right, like you can't be a sniper to be in this event.
But when you saw other countries doing it, they were all geared up and stuff. This guy literally was standing there with his hand in his pocket, like not even standing straight, and he was just like.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was neat.
If I had a choice,
I like things like that.
I think I would. I mean, of course, because I play basketball, but outside of basketball,
Yeah.
I think I would want to do the co-ed relay race.
Oh, that was cool.
We saw the 400.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think that would be really cool. Like, could you imagine me and you competing? We should run a relay against other podiatrists or other docs and see who would win. Like,
I don't think so. I'm not that fast.
I mean, you're decently fast. I think we could beat a lot of people.
Did you know when we were at Washington State, you may not have been there yet, but I ran homecoming game at Washington State when it's in Pullman is Go Cougs.
Go Cougs.
They do this chariot race and you have to like run as a group this chariot across this field. Do you know that they do this?
I wish I would have seen you do that.
I did it. And I wasn't
you solo?
very fast. No, there was like other people running it with me. I
But
don't know
you
how
probably-
I do the get
You
involved
probably
with this
had
stuff.
a drink or two, and so of course you were running in slow motion. You weren't very fast.
I don't know if I did.
There's no way you did that sober.
Okay.
I just don't think you did. I think you at least had one beer. You stopped by the Cougar or something, which is one of the local bars there.
Anyway, whatever.
You ran on the field.
I'll never
probably
do it again.
Just
I can't do it now.
I had a cup of coffee and decided I was going to run a relay on the football field. Totally not you. I'm not. I can't see that, but it might have been. I mean, I didn't see the race.
What are they called?
So I don't know how that took place,
Brunches. Those brunches are
I mean,
fun brunches.
but it really happened.
No, but that was weird. Again, I don't know how I get involved with that kind of stuff, but whatever. Greek system does
Greek
it to you.
system's crazy. We did play in a basketball tournament when we were in med school together.
We kicked butt.
Yeah, we won the whole thing.
Was it just me and you? Who else was on our team?
It was me, you, Aaron Flowers. Shout out Aaron Flowers.
Oh yeah, we kicked butt, and we beat the PT. It got rough.
It got rough. I remember you looking at me. You're like, just make a shot. I was like, you were done. You're like, listen.
It was hot. It was Pomona, California.
It was hot.
In like August or September. It was like 100 degrees out.
Yeah.
We probably had anatomy lab afterwards.
did.
It was disgusting.
Yeah, we totally did.
So no, I could not breathe.
But it was fun. Those were the good old days.
No, they weren't.
No,
Med
they
school
were
was
tough.
not the good old days.
No, it was. Yeah, that's the thing. Med schools, they did suck.
But I did love living in Claremont.
We loved living in Claremont. We had a lot of fun over there by the Claremont colleges. We would run. We'd go to restaurants. I mean, it was a good time in our relationship because we had to go through something really tough together multiple times, and I think it strengthened us.
Yeah.
But with that being said, it was very challenging to keep friendships.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, we were gone, and like we call it going dark, which means we don't talk to people. We can't. We don't have the time.
Yeah.
Well, we say we don't. I mean, it's just you have to be in that mental space where you have to focus on what you're working on, and distractions happen very, very easily. And so just trying to stay focused on all of that. And
So imagine the discipline, right, that it takes for these Olympians,
yeah,
right? And the time. I mean, it would really be interesting to know during that time period what their social life looks like, right? How is their relationship with their partners? Do they see that it takes the true dive because they're not able to be around? And then how the partners or their friends and family members cope with that. because I think that's a big challenge, especially for female athletes who may be, moms and, spouses, obviously, right? How do you deal with having to be an Olympic
Well, it's
athlete?
a job.
Yeah, and also
think
take care
about
of your
when
family
we
and be
have
there.
surgery coming up or when we have boards coming up. I mean, you get in the grind and you have to focus. I mean, that's what that is. It's just it's a job. It's another
Yeah.
job. Stress comes with it. You get stressed out about it all. I mean, eating, you can't eat, I mean, it's yuck.
I think for me though, like guys are typically pretty good about like, okay, man, like you couldn't make it to the football game or we can't go out and have a beer. There are
You
some
mean
men that are really
don't
needy.
hold grudges?
Yeah, I feel like they don't hold as many grudges.
There's not resentment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I feel like, and I can't speak on that, but I feel like it would be pretty challenging to have friends that you feel like acquire more
I
attention than
have
others.
not very many friends because it's hard for me to feel like I have to check in with people just to keep it on good basis, like on good terms. Like my priorities in my life are you, the girls, God, obviously, but like my family. I mean, I have always been that way.
Yeah.
My effort into my friendships is very authentic and genuine. And so when I get put on blast as far as not doing enough for people, that is a big red flag for me because I can't do any more. I'm doing my best. And if my best isn't good enough for you, then I just have to see you on the flip because I can't hold that pressure. I already put so much pressure on myself to make sure that all of my things are done during a day.
Absolutely.
And the last thing I need is for a person who I thought was a good friend of mine to be calling me out in public or sending a message to me about how I'm not there enough. And
Yeah.
too many things have gone on in the last few years for me to really spend time worrying about that or like letting that really affect me, but it's who I am. I mean,
So do you think
I'm
it's
a people
about-
pleaser for
Do you
sure.
think it's about giving grace to people, and just being like, you know what? I understand that.
We're all busy.
Yeah.
We all have lives. I don't know why you've not communicated with me for the last few months,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to hang that over. I'm not going to hold that over your head and make you feel bad for that.
Right.
The time has passed. Okay. And what? Like, one of my best friends is Gina, and she's in Spokane, and we talk every few months, and there's nothing. If we communicate, say, hi, what's up? How are you doing? Checking on you. If there's a post on any of the social media platforms, like that I'm either concerned or just happy, like I'll reach out. Like if we're local, she comes over here. We've talked about us trying to get over to that side. Like I'm going to try to do that. But if it doesn't happen,
It doesn't mean I don't love you. It
understand.
doesn't mean I
Exactly.
don't
And it
love
shouldn't-
you.
And it should not change our relationship.
Yeah. And you should be able to be open and honest. If there's a level of disappointment because you weren't able to link up with a friend or you haven't been able to spend the amount of time that you want to, I think it is okay to be like, hey, I'm disappointed that we haven't been able to spend time together and get together. Like, let's try to figure something out so we can get together soon. I think that's a lot different than making someone feel bad.
But then plan something.
Yeah. It's not solely your responsibility.
Why is it on me?
Yeah.
Only me.
Yeah.
Then let's plan something. You can plan it. You can suggest it.
Right.
When I've said I was going to do something, it didn't happen
Yeah.
because it was taken away. Like it's frustrating.
Yeah. No.
Everyone's just trying to do their best in a really messed up world right now. And there's no intention to make anybody feel bad or disappointed about the scenarios. It's just, we're doing our best.
Yeah, time goes by so fast. It's like by the time we pick up our kids, we stop by the grocery store to get food, we make dinner, like we do homework stuff. It's, we get them bathed and ready to get to sleep. I mean,
There's
8
no
o'clock,
time
9
for
o'clock.
myself.
Yeah.
The only time, and I don't even have it, is on the toilet Because our dog comes and finds me.
Absolutely. Our dog Chili will bust down the door.
Boosh.
To see.
Jumping up on me, and I'm like, get down. I'm just trying to pee.
Absolutely.
Leave me alone. And then you feel bad because you're just pushing her away. And
Can't scroll for 5 seconds without our dog busting through the bathroom or one of your kids busting through the bathroom.
On the phone.
On the phone.
Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, sitting there getting your news.
Well, we got a new. We gave away our rooster yesterday.
Well, no, we figured out that we actually have a rooster because we didn't know.
Week.
Yeah.
It started ruiing.
Got the cock-a-doodle-doody.
Yeah. So anyway, we rehomed our rooster, but instead got a Silky.
Got a new Silky chicken.
Yeah, love it.
Which has been really cool.
Yeah, her name's Fluffy.
Her name is Fluffy Fluff. Cross is what our kids name. They say don't name chickens because obviously they're a food source, but...
Well, no, it's because they die. It's the connection.
I understand, but when you have little kids, they're going to name everything.
I don't know who Rosie or Bluey is, though. I've lost track because their color markings are different.
Changed.
So I know Lindy and I know obviously Fluffy. I don't know who Rosie is versus Bluey. It's all right.
So things at the house, hardwood floor is officially starting to go in.
Yeah, it looks good.
Which is really cool. Good. We decided to go with an acacia floor.
Yeah.
Some of the big challenges that we've run into just
when
trying
you're
to
picking.
Picking a hardwood floor, right? Durability. I know right now, right, it's the luxury vinyl is a really big thing, but we wanted to make sure that we went with a hardwood floor just because of the aesthetic.
This project.
Yeah, this project. There's other places where we think that's great. Learn that you should not put hardwood floor in a daylight basement.
Well, the manufacturer doesn't hold up the warranty.
Because of the moisture.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
What our Jack Stone, who is installing our hardwood, he's awesome. But he mentioned, so when you buy, this is the biggest key for me. So for future projects, when you're buying hardwood floor or any flooring, but hardwood more specifically, there's different lengths of the boards that you want. And the more variety of lengths is the better for the hardwood guys that are installing, which these are the things you don't know if you've not done it a bajillion times or once, Yeah. So definitely learning experience and getting all of that together. Exciting for designing the tiling for the pantry and the bathroom and stuff. We're working on that too. So lots of things are happening.
We're moving, in that direction. So once that gets done, then we'll hopefully be able to
anybody hate painting? I think I've probably asked this before.
Yeah.
We're painting a big built-in, which we can show you guys once it's all finished, but it's like 100 times hours of sanding and mud puttying, and we have, I think, a week exactly to finish it, which is
not much time. God. Yeah, it's going to be a beautiful
paint dry
finished piece, but sanding has been just tedious and it's so dusty, and so but we're moving along slowly but surely. I definitely, like I said, I mean, what a craft. I mean, some of these people flip these homes in 6 weeks.
No, they don't. They don't.
Like I said, HGTV
That's
said so.
BS.
So
no.
I mean, I'll tell you right now, it's
not when you're trying to do it without a huge home loan. You know what I mean? When you are building a home, you have a remodel house loan with that, and your money is there to do it. So, but we're doing it kind of in phases. So.
Most people, right?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit at a time, and it just takes longer.
Very few people can afford to just say, "Hey, build me a new home."
Yeah.
I mean,
but even then, it took my sister 3 years to build her house, and that was from ground zero. So, it just takes a long time, and I think the design part of it is also huge, and you don't want to cut corners, and you want to make sure you get what you want, and that's the hard thing for me. Is sure, we could go with cheaper stuff or things that, you've heard about or seen, but it's just really what is the style and what do you like and the quality, right? So we all know everything is different on quality at this point.
For me, the big thing is it's about beauty meeting functionality.
Yes, I agree.
Right? Where's the fine line in that? Because you want something to look good, but if it's not functional, especially with having little ones, it doesn't make sense. And so we're just trying to make our little castle look beautiful for us, and it's something that we enjoy doing. It allows us to use our hands. It allows us to use our creative thought process without thinking about stuff at work, and so it's kind of our escape and our outlet. It also allows our daughters to get involved, which I think is really, really huge. I mean, our kids are outside way more than they're ever on a screen, and that's because we're like,
Well, I have that
no.
rule. I don't let them inside until dinner.
Yeah. You're that mom. You can drink water from the water hose. You'll be okay. You'll survive. Like, dang. But I love it though. Our kids know. They're like, don't even ask mom. Like, mom said we have to be outside until
Yes, I did.
until it gets dark. I'm like, mom, that's 10:30. Dang, cutthroat. But no, it's great for our kids. So yeah, and then the practice is
Practicing.
It's always, I think that's a great way to say it. You're always practicing. You're always trying to make it better.
It's going.
So it's going. We're seeing more patients now than ever and helping so many people, which is awesome.
It's weird when you have dreams about your patients. I had that last night, and it was not in a weird way.
Is it about feet? Like, do you see their feet in your dream?
No, it was about him finding a partner. Like he was going on a date or something, and I was trying to surprise him with flowers to give to anyone. I don't know what it was, but I will never tell him that he was in my dreams because it won't be awkward.
Yeah, that is really creepy and awkward. Yeah. I mean, it made me feel awkward. That yeah, I'm thinking like, so when you see them in your dream, are you at the end of the chair?
I'm
and
just
you're
glad
looking
I'm
at their
dreaming.
feet,
Are you kidding me?
that
I
you're
don't
able to
dream
sleep
half the
well enough to
time,
dream?
majority of the time. I feel like I've noticed since we've turned the heat off in our bedroom, I have been dreaming better, which means maybe I'm going into a different sleep.
Who knows?
Or not astral traveling as much. That's for another show.
Definitely for another show. Well, guys, just wanted to check in with you guys. I'm Dr. Jeremy Cross.
And I'm Dr. Allie Cross.
And this is Footprints, the Blueprints.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button.
Gonna make the world a better place. Gonna make it home.